Hey y'all, it's Prada Jean and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm about to react to people guess who is white in a group of people. This should be interesting because you'll be surprised out there what race people actually are. Let's get to it.
One of my buddies at school, he was originally from Africa. I remember when I told him that I was black, he was just like, "Oh, my brother!"
How's it going? I'm Carlos. I'm half Mexican, half Nicaraguan.
My name is Melinda. I'm Native American and Mexican.
My name's David Matthews. I am white and black.
Today, during the video, what did people guess about you?
That I was white, 100%. Everybody said that I was white.
I want to say that you might be white.
Let me say he's white.
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 Do you pass as white?
All the time. Nobody second guesses that I'm white in any situation, pretty much. For the most part, it doesn't come up at all because I look so white.
Yeah, it happens a lot because I tend to be a little ambiguous, especially with people of color most of the time. They won't accept that I'm Latino, or people are shocked when they hear me speak Spanish.
You speak Spanish?
I do, fluent.
Motherfucker, say some stuff.
Why? ¿Por qué? Porque tengo que hablar español.
He speaks Spanish.
Even between Latino friends, you're always labeled as güero, which means like the white one.
People think I'm mixed, but that's a different complexity, and that's usually coming from like the black communities identifying me as mixed. But like white people always knew I was different, and like brown and black people always like accepted me more quickly.
So I'm part white. Yeah, my mom's white, but my dad's from Hawaii, so I'm Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander,
I can
Asian.
see that in him.
Sneaky.
Yeah. I guess over the course of this, I've been saying like white, Asian, Pacific Islander, Hawaiian, and those are the boxes are normally checked in the census, but I think there's always a feeling of all of the above and none of the above.
Coming to the US, in the beginning I would just automatically pick other because everything else didn't seem to apply until one day there was one that had between parentheses it elaborated what white was, and it said that white was a person of European, Middle Eastern, or North African descent. So I was like, oh wait, guess I'm white. So I googled it, and it turns out that legally in the US I'm considered white even though I don't get identified as white.
I don't identify as white, although I am part German, Irish, Swedish, and French.
Do you like Tom Hanks?
I like him in Forrest Gump. My favorite actor is Jim Carrey, though.
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey is
to me,
hilarious,
just like say,
bro. I love
hello,
Jim Carrey.
how are
He's a
you?
classic.
Hello, how are you doing? White people feel comfortable talking to me. They assume that we have common interests. They look more at our similarities than our differences.
I've definitely had white
definitely
girls
white.
date me just because they like anime or they're into that sort of culture.
He looks
and they
mixed.
want to
But see,
break off a little piece of that's in a palatable,
the vibes
easily
that I'm getting is that these
consumable,
people are
halfway
mixed. with-
deconstruction of what that is.
with
I never
people that
really
they're,
even thought about anything but being white until people started mistaking me for other things.
portraying
He's like
themselves as.
Aladdin.
So.
He flies on the
They're
carpet, so he
mixed,
hangs out with. He's brown. Aladdin is brown.
Yeah,
Although it's
yeah,
not white.
like Indian.
I am the person that's white, so you're not white. If you're white, I'm gonna be mad.
That was super surprising to me. Growing up in New Mexico, everyone thought I was white. So that's kind of interesting for me to look at my own history and think about what it, where
Well,
I
yeah, if you're growing
come
up
from,
in Mexico, he
but,
does look white, but
I
he
experienced
looks Middle Eastern
the world as a white
to me.
person.
Did anything shock you today or surprise you?
Yeah, I think
I
everyone
can see the
guessed that I was
biracial
not
in
white.
him. Look
Not
at that
white
hair
or
and
person
look at
of
that
color,
facial
so
hair.
That was really interesting because I never really considered myself, either of those things. But I guess I am.
Being somebody who doesn't pass for white, I think people are constantly making assumptions about me. I'm also a queer person in the world, so to be queer and brown and identified as femme or a woman doesn't really feel good because I just feel like I'm just the other, literally the other category.
What's your ethnicity?
I identify as white, but my mom is Native American. So I'm half white, half Native American.
What tribe?
Monacan Indian from Virginia.
I mean, do people ever ask you what your ethnicity is?
No.
Native
Everybody's
Americans
where
or
in
black?
Europe are you from?
Just
What
FYI.
Scandinavian country? I can
Indigenous
put
people
it, click the
are
little
black.
Native American box on
Indigenous
a
people all
census or
across the world
school
is
forms,
black.
but I just never did it.
Yeah, why?
My color.
You're
Oh,
I don't
call
know.
it
I guess
bronze.
because
We're not
blonde hair,
black,
blue
we're
eyes. Like I
bronze.
think people said that today. Like you just look white.
But girl, how much native are you? Like, are you
Girl.
like half and half?
Yeah,
Don't check that box. Check
Yeah.
the other box.
Yeah.
You're beautiful. Like, there's something more to you. Don't
She's
wa-
little.
don't water yourself down for society, sweetie.
I thought the whole exchange with Rin, like she was kind of getting on you
Definitely
about
not
it.
Native
Like, how did you
American.
feel in that moment?
That made me feel like she's probably right. And
She's the 5%er.
yeah.
No,
I don't
not
know, I
5%.
think that's, like, something I need to
$5
explore
Indian is what they
personally.
call them. The
Like,
people
why-
who bought
pushing
themselves
myself, like,
into the
why
people who was
don't
on the
I?
land. And I
Because
guess
I think
over
it's something
time,
to be
their
proud
family
of, and I've
probably-
always been proud of it. It's just
That's
like
if
not
she
something I
is.
really
If
share.
she has it in her
Do you
DNA.
feel any kind
That's
of
what would
privilege
probably happen.
with passing as white?
Oh, I'm for sure. You know, I don't face any of the struggles that my dad did. Like as growing up as a black person, like people would follow him in stores, people would lock their doors as he walks by. I just have none of that whatsoever.
Do you feel privileged?
Is he mixed for real or is he adopted? I
Yeah,
wonder.
yeah. I know there's some Jewish people that don't identify as white, which kind of puzzles me because I feel like Jews like experience privileges of being white, and they may have not in the past, but they do now. I guess it's kind of interesting when people started mistaking me as not being white. It kind of made me think differently about how I move throughout the world. Like, oh, do people not think I'm white? Do people treat me differently because they don't think I'm white? Because I sure go around feeling like a white guy, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of puzzling.
Have you ever been treated unfairly because someone thought you were a person of color?
Yeah, I think if I'm mistaken as Arab, there's obviously a lot of like Islamophobia and stuff.
When people
Yeah,
don't
he
think you're
does
white,
Middle
what are
Eastern.
annoying questions they ask you?
When they
Now,
profile
what
me
did she
as
say she was?
Mexican,
White,
it's
white on
annoying
top of white
if
on
they
top of white.
when they
She's
ask
not
if I'm
white. Girl,
legal.
you named all the
they
white races
ask
out there.
me to translate things for them.
People will make jokes. They'll like make a stereotype about black people or say something like that, and then I'll be like, "Hey, I'm actually half black." And then sometimes they'll be like, "Oh shit, like I'm sorry, no, oh, okay, I had no idea." Then some other times they're like, "Oh, well, but you're not actually black. Like you would be."
That's how they be,
It's
bro.
like no.
My demeanor is very different with like people of color versus like white people, and
He
like
said, but you're not actually black.
with like the
what
one
that's
white
supposed to mean.
woman, like me telling her that my eyebrows were like fuck you, like I could tell I like scared her.
Oh, okay, yeah, you have part of your eyebrow is shaved.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a?
I did it
decoration?
myself.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, it's my way of telling people not to fuck with me.
Get the fuck away from me.
Yeah, people really read it that way, and it's great.
Don't fuck with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was just like, oh, like I'm like the least like scary person, but like that's why I need this. And it was just interesting because I was like, oh, you know, like is that a microaggression? Like is that racism? Because you're afraid of like this perception of me and like why I am flagging. And as a white person, I think like her being like, oh, I don't want to fuck with you. Like that's exactly why I do it. So white people like her don't fuck with me, you know?
Do you think surprised you today?
You know, it's pretty much what I've gone on the basis. They're like, okay, I don't know what you really are. You're not really white, but you are white.
I thought today was very thought-provoking just because I've dealt with it my whole life. I thought, you know, I was pretty good about not putting people in a box and making those assumptions and looking more for similarities. But today I think my eyes were opened even wider, that I still do it.
What do you think of today?
Just that, like, you can't really tell who someone is based on their superficial characteristics, and it's not really fair to just label
That's
people
true.
without actually talking to them at all.
True.
I think I learned more about myself and like
That's very true.
just the ways that I obviously engage and don't.
That's whiteness. Like, what is whiteness? It's just like ever changing the definition of it in the U.S.
Well, I'll tell you this. I know when a lot of Hispanics and other races come to America, they make them list themselves as white. I know that for a fact. There's some Hispanic people that's in prison. There's some Hispanic people with jobs. They have to label themselves as white. But they do that to make themselves look like there's more of them than anybody else. They don't want anybody else to feel like they're not a minority. Anyway, we're not going into that tonight. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys like, comment the next video you would like to see me react to, and subscribe. Bye.